So how hard is it really in a career selling life insurance? I'm going to give you my personal story and observation doing this since 2011 to help you determine if it's too hard for you or how you can overcome it to make it what I think is one of the most lucrative businesses out there. My name is David Duford. I own DeFord Insurance Group. We train life insurance agents to sell a specific type of product called final expense. It's also known as burial insurance. If you'd like to learn more about that, head over to davidduford.com. We recruit agents nationally, both in the telespace remote world as well as the old-fashioned traditional face-to-face method. Again, check out davidduford.com for more details. So bottom line, I think life insurance is probably one of the hardest products to sell out there. And we'll give you a couple of reasons why. The first thing that comes to mind is that life insurance is an intangible product. So what do I mean by that? Well, a tangible product is something like a car. Now think about it. We just bought my wife a brand new vehicle. We are able to jump into the car, smell the new car smells, slam the gas pedal down and ride it really hard, get the exhilaration and thrill out of that. There's an immediate gratification process whenever you're using or buying a tangible product, right? You get to feel something that's real. Well, contrast this with life insurance. You have to die to get the thing. It's a very kind of nebulous type of idea. I'm going to pay on something with the hopes that when I'm dead and gone and don't realize it, that the promise that was made is going to be fulfilled. A lot of people can't wrap their head around that as prospects. They buy in the immediate moment. That's what most human beings do. But the idea of buying something that will be there when they're dead is a strange concept. Therefore, in many cases, life insurance has to be sold. That's why it's not bought. In my opinion, this is why you haven't seen AI or some sort of automated processes or some sort of outsourced solution overseas replace this process of selling life insurance. It needs a human being involved to convince somebody to take action despite, the idea that, hey, I could wait another couple of decades before I have to worry about this. So hopefully you see where I'm going with this. In my opinion, this is the biggest reason why a lot of agents simply fail out of this business, because it is hard to sell something that you cannot touch and hold and is more of an idea and has to be secured only after the person dies. So I think that alone makes this business very difficult. The other side of this that I think makes it very difficult is the systemization of selling. So you have, when you get into the life insurance space, unfortunately, a big multi-level marketing contingent. Most of the big name three-letter IMOs out there and agencies that you've seen recruit you, approach you on social media, they tell you everything that you want to hear, how great their leads are, how wonderful their opportunity is, and they've got a very systemized, deliberate process to brainwash you into thinking that their thing is like the best thing ever. There's almost like a cult-like sensation that comes from it. And you have to understand that this is a deliberate process to brainwash you into the business model. And what happens is a lot of people who aren't aware of this, they become whipped up into a frenzy, end up recruiting anybody with a pulse, and long story short, wash out of the business because they don't really have a true sales and recruiting business model. They don't have a system that they can apply. What system is applied really just serves the top of the pyramid, but not the actual agent, you, to get out there and have a duplicatable business model to find prospects that actually are interested and want to buy what it is that you're selling. So it's imperative as you get into this business, one of the things that makes it difficult is to be aware of this reality. Don't actually think that you're an exception to this. Understand that the norm of this business is multi-level marketing. And as soon as you're aware of it, you need to understand that it's likely that that MLM, that mindset, that type of process is not the best to have a career selling insurance successfully, but it's only really good for the people at the top of the food pyramid. So that's the real reality, I think, of why this business is so difficult. Add into that, it's a straight commission profession for most agents out there. You have to go invest in your leads. Some programs like what we have offer free leads on some basis, but most agents have to buy their leads. And you got to deal with rejection. You have to deal with people who don't want what it is that you're selling, all the typical kind of pushback stuff that makes this business very difficult. And that's why I think 90-95%, somewhere in that range, of new agents that get licensed fail out at the end of their first year. I was no exception to that. I failed out about the 10, 11, or 12-month mark because I got away from the fundamentals. I didn't like who I was selling, and I let the kind of mindset deteriorate than what it needed to be. Luckily, I was able to come back. a little bit later, come in part-time for a full year, then go full-time and never look back, thankfully, because what all of this is to say is while this is difficult and while this may seem a little bit depressing to you, you need to actually embrace it. I think some YouTube influencer says, embrace the suck. And I think that's 100% true. You have to be happy that this is difficult, because if this was kind of like equal across the board, or anybody, despite their lack of intelligence or lack of work initiative or whatever variables that make an agent successful or not, if everybody really truly had the opportunity to be successful, guess what? There would be no money in it. The carriers wouldn't pay an enormous amount of commission for a dinky little final expense or life insurance policy. And the winners in this business win big, and the losers lose big. And you have to not get mad at that or get mad at the system. You know, you can't hate the game. You gotta hate the player, I guess, right? As the old saying goes. So you have to embrace that reality and understand that there's almost this Darwinian thinning the herd process that happens that's healthy for the entire ecosystem of the business, in order for the people who are very good at this to make a lot of money, because it absolutely is 100% the case in this business. So my advice to you is this. Yes, this business is hard. If you find that depressing, don't do it. You should immediately, if you really have the stuff in this business, should react to that reality with enthusiasm. And I think if you don't react to that enthusiasm, I would go out and start looking at other agents that are out there, watching their interviews. And what you'll realize is that the vast majority of those successful agents, they're not any more intelligent. They're not any smarter. They didn't have any privileges that they started off with that you don't necessarily have as well. But they took what they had and they made the best that they could with it. A lot of agents are just normal people that don't know when to quit, that really work hard, that put all of their effort into it. And that is one big motivation I saw was when I trained with my trainer. I was like, Andrew Fike, I watched him and he's like 5'2". Hopefully Andrew may be a little taller than that. I apologize. He's smaller than me. I'm 6 foot. And he'd get in there, he hustled. His sales was good. It wasn't great, but he had great work ethic and he had deliberate activity. And he wrote like $2,000, made $2,000, put in his pocket in like one day. And I thought, you know, if this little dude can do this, I can do it. And again, no offense to Andrew, very good guy. But it was motivation that I saw. I was like, man, if he can do it, I can do it. You should feel the same about this business despite its difficulty. So that's my kind of opinion and perspective on the business. Don't expect everybody to survive this business. Most don't. Only the strong survive. This is really true of the insurance business, and you should not want it any other way. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Then everybody wouldn't be paid anything, and it wouldn't be worth the hassle and the frustration. So I hope you enjoyed this video and got some illumination out of it. If you'd like to learn more about my business, we recruit agents across the nation, whether selling in person or over the phone. Check out davidford.com for more details, and thanks for watching.